it's a process. For instance, people come in, they audition. Good evening, Anthony.
Good evening.
And so they audition, and then after the auditions are over, I say thank you very much. We'll be in touch.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Don't call us. Whatever you do not call us. You can call him, but no call me.
He won't answer his
He won't answer his phone, so we're covered.
Yeah.
So what happens next is then we sit around, and as executive producers, I would like you guys to be a part of this process, where because you have this is kind of your baby, and you've invited me to help bring this birth this baby. That I would value your input on casting. And Debbie will also be by my side, and I'll ask Yogi what he thinks. Because there are times when I think, wow, I wasn't really hearing it. What do you think? And
So we would all take
you're
our
gonna say,
individual notes.
oh, that person
compare 'em.
spoke to my soul. And so I appreciate that kind of input. I don't offer it to just anyone. The fact that you guys are.
So I would back away from that unless you really wanted me, because to me that's just, I have other things to do, and I think you're taking over at that point. But if you're
Okay.
saying, oh, I really want you to do it, I'll do it.
What I would like to do is open that, leave that on the table,
Okay,
and
that's
say,
fine.
if you would like to participate in that aspect of it, I would value your opinion.
Okay.
If you want to demur, that's entirely up to
Okay.
you. So let's say we sit around and we say, yeah, what did you think of the first person, the second person, third person, and so forth? What do you think there's well suited for? And so Debbie and I would typically have this conversation, just the two of us. Okay? And in a perfect world, we've had as many people as we need to cast audition, and all of them are so well suited that there's nothing left to do except to phone them and say, will you accept this
and
role?
they say
Will you
yes.
accept that role?
And they say yes. Yeah.
So I
The
guess,
other thing is that complicates it though is I'm gonna find that I need somebody who's really strong in a role that no one's auditioned strongly for.
right,
And so now I have to work the phones. Now I need you guys to, again, to come in and say, hey, I'm looking for somebody to play, Jesus here. And of the auditioners, I saw 12 disciples, I saw some apostles, I saw no guys too. So that slows things down because then you're saying, and I'm sorry, just indulge me here for a moment. More often than not, I'll say, okay, Anthony came in and he auditioned, and I think in a pinch he could play Jesus. But I really like him in this other role, so I'd rather not cast him as Jesus.
Get the
right
donkey.
now.
The donkey would be the
The
So
lamb.
then I say, well, who do you know that wasn't here that you think?
Gotcha.
you
Yeah,
could
no,
be
happy to help with
persuaded,
that. Happy to help
that
with
you
that.
think could really. We're going to offer them. We want them to read the role of Jesus, so bear that in mind. And so that's how that process kind of works out, and it takes days because I'm going to call this prospective person, and they go, well, I'm out of town next week. And you go, damn it, Eric.
I think the great thing about this, for the thing that you're talking about, is there's no particular role that has to carry a show. It's a monologue, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
that is helpful for that, there isn't, you don't need somebody
You don't
to
have to
be
try
the
and fit a
man.
person to a character, because it's talking.
Right, so I would like to say that I would like to see, and I think Erica said this too, I hope, if they show up to these meetings and they show up to an audition, they are casted.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be in the least detrimental position that you
Yeah,
see where they
because
could
what
do
you
the
said at
least
the
amount of
very
harm.
first meeting that was here,
Yeah.
and I think he said it,
Yeah,
when we were downstairs,
Yeah.
he said, whoever shows up to all these meetings
Yeah.
determines to me who wants to be a part of the project.
right. I mean, there may be somebody who shows up fantastic on January 8th.
Yeah.
I mean, you had mentioned the commitment, and these meetings
Right.
were to show.
But
the
I also
commitment.
said we're not keeping
Track, yeah.
we're not keeping track of attendance
know,
because this is really for personal development. But it shows to Scott that they care,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. And
and we'll find a home for them.
yeah, I mean, there will be room in this boat for everyone that really would like to be a part
Sure.
of it.
Yeah.
That's the main
And
thing.
Because of
having
the
said
speed
that,
that the show's
however,
gonna move.
as a dramatist, there were people with greater and lesser tools in their toolbox, and I may find myself hung up on a particular role that I think needs to be played by an actor that was not in the auditions. At that particular point,
Yeah.
I need to call on the people that have an interest in this,
Right.
you know, for suggestions. So I'm just,
And I
I'm
guess
just
what
kind of
I-
throwing that out
yeah.
there. It's not inevitable.
So Robin's point's well taken. I want to revisit my point and just make sure you understand it. It's not that I'm trying to avoid this work. It's that I don't need to be in that role. I don't need to be a producer who's leaning into the director and say he needs to select these people.
Gotcha.
Casting is a director's job.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
He knows you're the director.
Right.
So
He
you
doesn't
don't,
need
you don't want to be
here.
an Alec
That's-
Baldwin.
He's relying on
Right,
you.
right.
100%,
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
I'm
And
happy for you to
I
do that.
appreciate
So take the
everyone
fame.
looking at it the
Take
way
the
that we're
fame.
looking
Go
at this.
home.
So-
I just want to make sure we all understand
Take
what's
the
going
win.
on here.
Yep.
So, any other issues that you'd like to resolve?
No,
before we-
my question's more about the auditions and casting. We can talk about that as it gets closer, I guess.
What do you mean?
Oh,
So
and,
then how do you say that we don't start rehearsal until?
oh, so that was the other thing.
Valentine's Day?
So, right,
So
so,
it's like 3 weeks?
it is, but that's why I was asking the next question of when do you think you'll cast it? Because that gives us further opportunity to meet as a group
Oh.
on the Thursdays.
Is that not audition? I mean, not rehearsal. I mean, it's not rehearsal.
Well, it's not rehearsal as far as Scott's commitment.
Okay.
Scott-
Oh, that's
Scott-
his commitment, is
Scott
February-
picked
is
these
Valentine's
dates.
Day.
Yes, you know, and so we want to get the auditions out of the way so that we can continue to do what we're doing and help each other to grow. And then when Scott walks in, we're better
Got
prepared
it.
to provide him with the.
So to continue your
Cast.
thought, Scott will have cast it in early January. The people will know which monologues they'll very likely be doing.
Exactly.
We'll start messing around with the dialogues, and
Exactly.
he comes in and we're kind of prepared.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
That
Yeah,
sounds
and-
good, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
anyone that has not been part of the workshops hitherto for those
Right.
auditions will be able to kind of get up to speed and get in the spirit.
Good,
you
good,
know,
good, good. And we can crack the whip on memorization, which is traditionally the
Right.
bugaboo of all these shows.
Yes,
Late
yes,
memorization.
absolutely. Now, there is a late-breaking development in February, sometime in February, and I'm not quite sure.
Oh, that's
when-
right, you told me that.
When that is. Debbie and I are flying to Hawaii,
Oh, nice.
and we're gonna be there for 5 days.
You know what? We'll
there's
just come
Zoom.
with you
What do you-
and we'll rehearse that. Let's just do that.
I love
Zoom
it.
rehearsal.
Have you ever been to the islands?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Kona.
see. Well,
It's the only island to go to.
Anthony?
Not yet. My brother was never there.
Okay,
So busy
well,
yet,
hold your breath. Start swimming.
Was it?
So,
Virtual visit?
here's the fly in the ointment.
Yeah.
We're going there ostensibly to visit my son who is starting a brand new job, flying for a medevac company. And in terms of his employment, he's on a week, 24/7, like a fireman.
Right.
And then he has a week off.
And you don't know which week?
And at the moment, because he is just starting in January, he doesn't know which of
Okay.
these 2 weeks.
Well, we'll figure it out.
So once Debbie and I have nailed that down, we're absolutely gone. However, once I'm able to establish that, I would like to be able to be. I'll become more involved in the rehearsals and I got to tell you that as a director, I am inspired by people that I cast in these shows because, like if somebody's challenged to conduct Beethoven, it's been done 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways because everyone in the orchestra brings a little something, their own little timing to it. So I need an opportunity to be inspired by these people, and I will be, good, bad, or indifferent, and it'll help me stage what's going on, I think, wow, this person I really like, they're strong enough that they can take this kind of a position. Or this person, I really have a nice quality, but I don't think they have what it takes to be in this kind of an entrance. And so things like that are going to be going on. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to come on and sometime in January and be kind of a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Listen to what's going on and try not to prejudice too much what people are doing, because I also want to see what kind of instincts people have, what they bring. And I have very often been surprised by people coming up with takes on material, including Eric, working in a Music Man. There were a couple of times when you came to rehearsal always prepared, but with a little piece of business or something that I would never have thought of. And so I really like this kind of stuff to start to percolate up to the top. And you're going to bring things that I wouldn't have thought to ask you to do that are just like dead on. And so I want to start to get a sense of that before I come in with a more heavy hand and start, yeah, you're going to do this,
Right.
you're going to do that.
So are we gonna audition for?
Which is really fun for me personally. Don't get me wrong.
Are we gonna audition for the parts we want, or like, are we just gonna come up and do some sort of monologue and you're gonna focus in? Because there are so many different characters. Some women are very meek and, others are super strong, as you know. My
And there's
favorite,
so many characters.
my favorite character
It has
is
to
a
be
male.
multiple.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the plan for everybody
Yes,
to do.
yes,
multiple.
exactly.
Yeah, a whole commitment to come up and stand and do one monologue.
Robin, I think the most realistic answer is, I don't know. I want to see what people bring to the table.
I would suggest in the audition form, we'll say, list your 3 favorite monologues. If you have them, you might not know the show, but if you
Right.
do
Yes.
and you tell us, and then.
But most people have to come to an audition prepared to do something, right?
So, yes, to that end,
Yeah.
what would be helpful is, especially in this age of social media, and able to get the word out to a large group of people in the community, to say, yeah, we're going to have these auditions. Please come prepared with your favorite anthology monologue.
Because they're available. It's
And say,
totally free.
yeah, that it's in the public domain. There's you can
The
find it at
question,
the
are we gonna
library.
stick to this script, or are we gonna vary from it?
If
or-
that's a good question. If they came with a copy of the original from 19...
Right, they could pick something that isn't included.
Yeah, as long as it is in the spirit, because I don't want people come in and go, okay, so what is this play all about? I have no idea.
Right.
No, I really think they need to have some kind of if they want to audition for us, it's not unreasonable to say, come prepared with your favorite, monologue or character from Spoon River Anthology.
Right.
No matter what version of the anthology it is. It's the original, it's the play, it's,
So now I feel a little bit like the mother who goes, but my son, I suffer from a visual impairment, which stunts my ability to read well in these groups. So I personally have this big fear of being judged by this bubble in my eye and the shitty copies of these things that are hard to read. So I just hope that we give the opportunity, I'm speaking for myself totally selfishly because I'm in the room, that I get the chance to blossom, even though I am a slow starter because of this. And so I just want to make sure that the opportunity for me to overcome my obstacles will be afforded me.
Well, it does put a twinkle in your eye.
Right?
I have one more question that I need to ask.
Let me,
production side.
okay, hang on just a second. Let me
Alright.
hold that question. Let me address this. Having auditioned thousands of people
Right.
in my life, and auditioning myself for professional theater, I understand the process and the nerves and so forth. That's why I would like to encourage people to come prepared
Right.
with their favorite piece.
Right.
So they're not, this is hard to cold read,
Oh, it is.
because the language and the phrasing is, you understand, you've been working on the material, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. So I would strongly encourage anyone that is interested to take a look at whatever, version of the story they can get and come in. And if they would like to read it, that's fine. They say, have you prepared something? Or they can say, yeah, I read it online and yeah, they're actually absolutely going to be reading. I don't want anybody to feel like you have to memorize anything. In fact, I'd prefer they not think in those terms, because it's easier to mold a performance if the person is open to some creative input, and so as much as you enjoy reading, and I want you to bring your best reading, but don't think, well, I don't want him to think I couldn't change if he had an idea.
Yeah, for me, I'm more about the memorizing, because the reading is such a struggle for me. Reading is a struggle.
Also, the point size on these scripts is such that I have the same. Now, typically, if you were auditioning, proper audition technique is you hold the script right here, flat up, and you keep your face up and you look down like this while the other person is speaking, and then you try to speak or read, and so it looks to the casual observer like you do not want this at all. This is the worst possible way to audition. Right. I don't know if that answers your question.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
What, I need to know what your plans are for a production budget. In other words, my department only.
Right.
So for the scrim, I mean, I need a dollar amount so that I have something to negotiate to try and get this scrim for. I'll always go for 0 all the time.
Well, you know that Joe will give it to you.
I know that
you
if he
promise
has
to
it.
do his next production.
Yeah.
You're a whore is what you are.
But I mean, like
Quid pro quo.
like I just need to know a dollar amount that if I need one little small thing, I mean, there's nothing going to be expensive for this.
So we need to have a conversation about how many seats we're going to sell.
Right.
That's going to be the bottom line. For
Right,
this.
I mean, you asked the question, and then this is the second time now where I turned around and asked the question of you. Well, how much time do I have? My question is, how much time do you need? You say, how much money do I have? My question is, how much money do you need?
Well, well, let's put it this way. I could answer that if I know that Palpak doesn't have that scrim anymore. Then I would shop for the price of renting it.
Okay, and so that's going to be known in a week or so, right? Or not?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do that. Do you have our email? Do you have our email addresses? And
Yeah.
okay, let's communicate.
What he's trying to say is he doesn't want to negotiate. We can give you $50 if, in your eyes, $50 is unreasonable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm looking at just running the numbers. If I sold 100 seats, and $15 a pop, that's $1,500 in revenue.
Right, and I think 15 is too much.
Okay, so 12. 10. I mean, I don't think 15 is too much. If you've got a hamburger recently.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think 15 is unreasonable.
but let's say
at all.
let's say our take is $1,500, just, and we need to confirm that. But so what else are we going to spend money on? We have
Exactly.
So right now I have a spreadsheet where I'm building the cost elements up. So that's why
Plus you have your bake sale, which is income.
well, generally we give that away, and we have.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I sell bacon.
I thought you were
Okay.
selling
Out of
it.
your
So
mind.
that's
Okay, I
what
take that
heard.
away. I thought he gives it away. He gives it away.
And then
The Romanos do it.
the
for him.
sponsorships and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, but let me get my point is I already have the spreadsheet, but there's only one item on it, and that is the royalties. So I need from you, what are the elements that actually cost something and can cost a range of amounts?
I could give you a number right now.
Okay.
It's 150.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that's not going to, it's 10% of what
Yeah.
we think we're going to take in.
Yeah,
It's
so I thought you were
crazy
saying
low.
something like $800 or $900.
No.
So we're just trying not to lose money in this
That's
thing.
right.
Anything
So
we make is
If I know that I have a budget of $150, then I know I'll have, him and I have been.
I feel
meeting
comfortable
every
giving you a
single
budget
week.
of 200.
Do I hear 3?
yeah. So okay, so we're not uncomfortable with you talking those numbers. So
Okay,
if you were
that's
talking
fine.
$1,000, then we're going,
You're like,
we need
oh,
to
shit.
sell,
Yeah.
all those
Yeah.
tickets.
No,
and,
but I mean, Scott and I have been meeting pretty much every single week.
Right.
This has been our topic.
Yep.
And, he comes from the same place I come from. We are all about
Okay.
nailing down the numbers, getting this finalization from you. That's why this meeting was brought on, because we're moving forward already with, you know, him getting time to get this building, to get the soft goods layout. We don't wait till the last minute. So all this is gonna
Yeah.
come off without a hitch.
You
when
have the
you're ready
producers
for
go
your show.
ahead to spend $200.
Okay.
And
Oh, look, he just knocked $50 off of it.
did you go 250? I didn't hear that.
Did.
But anyway, and so we're not like, that's not a number we're locked to. If you come to say, oh my God, I got this thing
No,
with
but
the
I don't-
projection and it's gonna make this, you
I
know.
absolutely do not foresee, and
Okay.
this would even include renting the audio board, because I know how much boards rent for.
Fantastic.
So
So the light board, yeah, and we'll have to talk about that.
I just.
Because
didn't
you're
know
only
what
talking
the
for a
demo pack
weekend,
had,
you know,
so-
most
Here's the
productions are
thing
over
though,
5 or 6
if you can
weeks.
find one to buy,
Huh?
Right.
we need to buy it.
I
And
know,
as long-
there's
But that
one-
wouldn't come out of this budget.
There's one
That-
for sale at Southwestern College right now.
For,
I don't know yet. It's an
Oh.
18 channel, but you have to make sure it's compatible with his
That was
demo
the
pack.
issue.
right, well then
Right.
that means there's possibly one for sale.
Possibly.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I know where they're for sale at, that
'Cause
are used.
we were looking
so-
on, if you can find one, cause that won't come out of this budget.
Okay.
That'll come out of the chamber budget, because
Okay,
we're
it's
not,
a fixture.
we're
It's a
not gonna be
fixture.
using it.
Yeah, so the board I left here with this light and that matched up with that system had
It
two
walked.
legs and it disappeared. So, anyway,
Yeah.
so whatever that, I feel confident that he knows the numbers on this.
Yeah,
Just
great.
off the top
Now
of
that I
his
have
head.
that, my world is complete.
Good.
So I don't need anything from any of you except him.
All right.
Okay.
Is
There
this
you
your
go.
model,
I had
Yoda?
two, I had
Is
two
your-
other things.
Yes.
Yeah. So my two things are, number one, is Deb and her team gonna take the lead on costuming?
So I would like to confirm that with Deb. In my mind, yeah, she's a go
Good.
on it. And
I'm sorry, for costumes?
costumes,
Yeah.
unless you.
She has assets, she has people.
Right, we had a brilliant idea of costumes at our last meeting. And it's just so simple, and so I just wanna throw it in the mix. It wasn't my idea, it was Jared's idea. She thought if we were all dressed in black, but then brought an accessory that would emphasize the character, like a scarf or a hat or a book or a something. I just thought it was an interesting concept,
Okay, that's a motif.
yeah. So I
A
just,
design motif. Hey, I'm, at this point, I am totally
Open to all.
open
Yeah.
to ideas, and that's a very solid idea. It gives, anytime you put people in uniform, and when, if they're all in black, then that's pretty uniform. Whether it's a pants, dress, jackets, shirts, that's fine. The other thing is the era. Now, one thing that drives me insane is if I see a production that has, it's supposed to be in 1930 and somebody's wearing something from 1962, that kind of,
Keep in
it
mind
diminishes
also-
my appreciation for the production.
Keep in mind also the amount of negative fill there with lighting. Because if everybody is dressed in black, then you're basically looking at a talking head, because it's not gonna be very bright in here at
Like I
all.
said, she's not here, it was her idea.
You see what I
I'm
mean,
bringing
right?
it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
And when
But-
you're watching people move across, you're not gonna see anybody because they're black.
Okay.
Well, on the one hand, it could add a very ethereal quality to the
I just
production.
wanted to be respectful to Jared and give this a
Yeah.
No, and it's a solid.
But that's a design, that's a design, not a production question. At the basic level, I wanted to make sure that Deb's involved and her
Yes.
rich assets, her rich storage and people can be brought into play.
Thank you.
And the other question, actually it's more of a process question going forward. Lisa Copeland is not from the theater world, and so we need to work with her to bring her into this and what our expectations of her.
Okay.
And I don't know whether we should have a meeting, maybe just the three of us or four of us, and just sit down and say, okay, here's what we're thinking right now, and what do you think, Lisa?
I like that idea of having a tight little, just 4-person,
Yeah,
sit down, talk about, because you have such a strong musical background, and you guys have been thinking about this play and what it could be. It could be lots of things. We're here in a formative forming this. We're literally creating it out of thin air right here. So, yeah, I would very much look forward to having that meeting sooner than later.
Okay. Okay, so I will work through email with both of you to get that
Yeah,
thing
I don't need to
scheduled.
be involved in that. I trust
Okay,
you on
you
that
don't,
side.
okay.
I mean, if
You-
I'm here and you're here, then
Yeah,
fine. But
and
otherwise-
just
Okay.
my concern is that this whole conversation for the last hour would have been a Greek to her. She is used to building a set of music that plays for an hour, and she's got her 4 buddies, and they've rehearsed for like 3 years, and so I think she's very capable. But this is a whole new world. This idea of designing music into a play. So I want to
Okay.
see where she's at and what she's
Yeah.
comfortable with.
Yeah. I think having it here in this kind of a setting
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
Kind of make it real.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're sitting at the drugstore or we're talking at the post office, it's a little more abstract.
Yeah.
Was the regulars wanted?
So, yeah.
I'm
Yeah, as
also
in
not
fa-
married to a bunch of singing, so I would be
I would
be happy.
I want a lot of singing.
I know you do.
No,
That's why I will compromise and have some singing. I just feel like some of the musical numbers could be eliminated. I have vocal nodules. I can't sing anymore.
I'll sing your parts.
What's that?
I'll sing your parts too.
Yeah, I know you would. So like I said,
I
he
can
loves
hum and
music.
I
I
can
want to
whistle.
limit music. We'll have some music. I don't feel like we have to look at this and produce music exactly as it is in that production.
No, agree.
Okay. Well, this is helpful because on the one hand, I can see that on one hand, it could be looked at as a musically rich piece. On the other, musically lean piece.
Or a
At the
musically
moment,
calm.
I don't have a preference one way or the other.
And that's why I think Lisa is going to lead us, hopefully. My vision for her is that she would lead us to this answer because she has knowledge of period songs, I think, and what is their capability. She has a bunch of volunteer musicians.
Yeah.
What are they able to work up in 2.5 months?
Yeah.
What's possible?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
it's a
exactly.
challenge with your
And
grandbaby in Texas. Things like
And so there's a couple of different ways to approach the discussion of music, and one is that there will be music. Do we want music that is purely instrumental? That helps establish mood. It helps establish
Look, Eric
a
wants a
time
solo.
period. It does all kinds of things. If you hear an old timey song, then it takes you into that era. So music can help us do some of the heavy lifting in terms of helping to establish place and mood and so forth. The other thing is that if there are performers that are singing, not all of the performers have that gift or that tool at their disposal. And so we have to make prudent choices as to what music we're using. If somebody has a song but they're tone deaf, then maybe we cut the song or turn it into rhyming,
A rap.
They speak it like poetry or, anyway, there are different ways to approach all of this.
Are you
But
in-
it's helpful for
Yeah.
me, just to put a fine point on it, thank
Yeah,
you
yeah.
very much, which is, I really love 5 points. The fine point here is you're more on the lean side of music, and Eric is probably
Right in the
a little
perfect
bit
point in the
more
center.
right in the perfect center. Okay, so we got to find this delicate balance.
So in terms of timing, are you around not next week but the following week, the 12th or 13th, I guess, 13th through whatever, the 22nd?
Is it next year's calendar?
Dr. Wells Fall of Arts Services.
Like a 4 o'clock afternoon thing?
Yes. The only real commitment I have is on the 17th.
Okay.
That's the Zoom.
Okay.
Julian Theater Company Zoom.
Yep.
That's a holiday one, right?
Yeah, it's a holiday one, which I don't know if we've spoken to you about this, but we're going to be hosting a Zoom. Anthony's
Friday
going to
before
take part of it.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and people, if they would like to share a story of Christmas or a song, then they join us on Zoom, and then that group is live streamed on our Julian Theater Facebook page. This is something that we've done.
Did you see the Halloween one?
2 years.
We've done this in the past. If you go to the Julian
long.
Theater
Is that
Company
good?
Facebook page, you'll see that there are Zooms that we've done in the past. You can also see A Christmas Carol 2019 on that site.
Yeah, maybe I should sign up to sing a song for that show.
Yeah.
You should.
Taste of the
Call
bronchitis.
George, call Debbie.
Is it Julian Theater Company Group?
Yeah, there's a page and a group, so both.
There's a
So I
page and
just
then the
submitted
private.
to join.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I just
lovely.
approved you.
But we will need to reschedule
Oh, no, I don't see
an
you.
appointment with those two on what we
Right.
haven't discussed.
And
I won't
also-
bring it up here, but
And also, yes. Oh, and I need to talk to you
For the,
about
for your information,
Some
Eric.
good news.
is it Two of the
You didn't
text
have to bring a
messages
copy.
are about the vaccinations.
Which one, which is? Okay.
I'm not getting any.
I sent you a text.
I saw the text.
Oh, you saw the text, okay.
Can't get it.
Anyway, that's something else. That,
You know what, I'm glad you mentioned it because you can't get it unless you pay the rights. However, I'm going to see Joel tomorrow at Powpack. They keep all the scripts.
yeah.
Hey, Robin, is there
Maybe
food?
borrow one?
Like legitimate food?
Heavy into
Great.
ordeal.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Debbie
know
actually
Pat,
was,
yeah.
was very interested to read it.
Good.
So that bodes well.
She'll love
Okay,
Alright.
getting
Yeah.
back to next week. So the 17th.
Let's do the 16th. I'll pencil in the 16th and I'll see if I can get Lisa. I mean, we need Lisa. Let's see if she's available the 16th.
Okay.
December 16th?
Yeah?
Okay, that's the shop local night,
Oh,
so,
Oh.
and it's also a board meeting.
but it's also the workshop unless we change it. Did we change it?
Yeah, well, the workshop's a little bit earlier, yeah.
This would be 4 o'clock.
Yeah, so,
4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
yeah, so 4 o'clock would be okay,
Okay.
yeah. I just wanted you to know it's
yeah.
fine, there's a board meeting that night, the
Gotcha.
election counting that night, it's a huge night.
Oh, okay. I'll see if Lisa's available on the
Okay.
16th.
And if not, the next best date would be the Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
Before that,
Robin's Christmas
Yeah.
party. It's on my calendar.
Yeah, December 15th is my Christmas party.
I know. I wasn't invited, but it's on my calendar.
That's because you have the wrong parts.
I
okay,
was
so
born.
It's a women's party.
it was born this way. Okay, so on the 16th, I'm gonna pencil in here. Ooh, maybe, yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Meet
Lisa, Lysa.
Lisa.
Have you had a pretty good turnout on Thursdays for people reading?
8 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple people notified us they weren't coming tonight, so I'm not surprised there's
Right.
no one here.
I think when
Or
we
not no
met.
one, fewer people.
10?
Yeah, we're good. And what I was hoping to do tonight, which I'll just put it on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
There's a number of people that have said that. What the hell was I gonna say? I have no idea. Oh, that they want to start. This is what it was. There was a number of people that said, "I'm going to start memorizing some of the ones that I want to do." So what I thought we would start doing is just for comfort and get us off our butts is sit in a line of chairs and like no jibber jabber fun interaction like we have sometimes. And the first person gets up and does their monologue that they wanted to memorize. Jarrett wants to memorize. Jarrett wants to get up and do stuff. And then she'll just come down, sit, and the next person goes up. That way we just sort of get the feel of standing up and doing
Sure. Yeah.
the monologues.
Sounds
That's
great.
how I'd like to see us going forward. What do you think of that?
That's good. Jarrett is phenomenal.
She is amazing.
She does she flips it into a Russian accent for one of the dialogues that needed a Russian character. And she's like,
Oh,
it was dead on.
She was amazing. And she's
Yeah.
one of those people that you love being in the room with them. That is Jarrett. She's
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yeah, I am anxious to be able to work with Jarrett now. I haven't had that opportunity in the past, but this is the next best opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it, as I am looking forward to working with Janie and Yogi on a project.
Sorry.
And I'm hoping that this project will open some doors for all of us that like theater, we like being involved in it, we like supporting it and doing it, and and just expand the family here a little bit at a time when I'm trying to downsize my theater aspirations and just concentrate on voiceover. But you guys are like pulling me out of the shadows.
I'm keep reeling him in every meeting.
It's just so funny, for me, on a personal note, is that, this has been something that I've been, it's just for years, and it just kept coming back to me, and then having that opportunity to bring it up to Eric. And like, for me personally, sitting here from this little idea that's been knocking on my head to this little thing that you guys just made, it almost wanted to bring me to tears. Like, I'm not saying I'm responsible for all of this, but I'm responsible for all this. Like, my little idea that's been knocking in my head is bringing joy to, and something happening, and I just like, I feel so happy about it.
It's nice to have a feeling when you have people that share your dream.
Yeah.
And, like with me, this isn't new to me because of motion pictures and Broadway, but being able to do it in a local environment, there's more satisfaction in that than there is when I'm doing a Broadway show. I don't get the accolades. I don't need an attaboy. I just need to see that people are enjoying the show.
Right.
That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, and it wouldn't happen without you.
Right.
In these small theaters, I love doing them.
Yeah.
And the more you're going to see some of the most bizarre things that I'm going to come up with in all your different shows you might be thinking of that you just would not find in a play. I already know that this play is going to be talked about a lot simply because of the way it's structured. No one that I have ever found on the internet has ever done a theater across from one another. Any kind of play or anything, I haven't found nothing.
You haven't found nothing.
So there are going to be people who go, oh, I've seen this here. I saw it in London. I saw it in Chicago. I saw it in New York. Bring it on. What have you got? There we go. This is what we got. We got game here.
By the way, how are the seats sold if they're not numbered? Is it first come, first
we didn't answer
served?
that question,
Yeah.
Traditionally has been general admission. We could number them, but.
What I hate about things is when you're walking in and
Reserved
some
seats.
jerk sits here and then there's one seat and, so
Right.
I'd like to
And then
see.
you got to clobber over.
I'd like to see
them
the
because-
ushers at least move them all, but we could sell $20 front and center seats.
Yes, you could.
But otherwise, the ushers bring them in and just fill the seats. That's how I would like to see it happen.
Yeah. So there's been 1,000 productions over the last 80 years in this theater. Almost all of them have been general admission, and almost all, if it's a hot ticket like Messiah, someone comes in and lays out 6 seats and shades, chairs, and so you come in the day and there's no one sitting there, but all these all these coats are across the table.
I think you should definitely
Yeah, we could sell premium seats.
sell premium.
Yeah,
You're
for sure.
right.
A lot of what I say comes from a visual impairment. When I walk into a room, like if I go to the bathroom and when I come out of the bathroom at the movie theater, I can't see you, we are now in a fight for the rest of the night. Because I cannot stand trying to find something. So I come from a person with a disabilities background.
Yeah.
So when I walk in, I don't want to have to try to see over there if there's 2 seats. I want someone to take me and I know where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
So you can take what I say with a grain of salt. I just come from the background of being treated like I'm stupid and feeling stupid.
Well, there's
because I
nothing
can't
wrong
find a
with
seat.
knowing that your seat is right there.
Exactly.
I mean,
And you're going to be the house manager.
Right.
we,
So
Make the
usher
rules.
them in.
we just went to a Darius Rucker concert outside in Laughlin, right?
I just saw him last year.
I like
The
Darius.
seating, it's huge and it's dark, and we were pretty close to the stage, but it's like, God, where's our seats? Because you
It's
can
just-
barely read the
Right,
letters
the
of
row
the
numbers
aisle.
are this big.
And it's
yeah.
like, oh,
so you
yeah.
can take, like I said, you can take what I say with a grain of salt. I just come from baggage. I bring my baggage to this.
But
No, it's all
I
good.
would do assigned seating. I think
Yeah.
we can do that with the ticketing.
Assigned seating's
Levi, or
easier.
ticketing software.
Because if I buy it for a play, I don't want to have to get there an hour early to try and shoot
Right.
to get that best seat.
Yeah.
If I buy a seat and I see a seating chart online or in the
Yeah.
chamber,
Yeah.
oh, my wife and I want those 2 seats because they're next to the elevator, or they're next to
Right.
the
Yeah,
bathroom, or I have a thing I got to be near an exit, or I want to be
Right,
on an
totally.
end. So you should.
We'll
they're
figure that out.
they're easy
Yep.
to number. If you want me to take care of that, I have the printer and the things to number.
Yeah. we can-
It's
I have,
nothing
I have
to do.
scotch tape and paper. So.
Well, whoever you use, the chamber uses a particular company to sell tickets through.
Yeah.
No, we started using our website now. But Eventbrite, I'm fine with.
We'll
and
use
then-
Eventbrite on this
but we
one.
won't
Yeah,
use brown
Eventbrite
paper
is-
tickets.
it's
No, they were not, they still
Yeah,
be
Debbie and I
$1,600
have used brown paper tickets.
personally.
Yeah,
But I
they
mean-
missed one of my clients out of 4,000.
So the advantage, of course, with using something like brown paper tickets, I don't know about.
Eventbrite is the new one, yeah.
Okay, people can buy them online.
Yeah,
The money's in the bank.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you can choose to pay more for premium seats.
Right,
Yeah,
and I think,
Yes.
give me the
But
opportunity
one of
to
the
try to see if I can
caveats-
do it on our website. If not, we'll just go to Eventbrite.
okay.
So Eventbrite also have this caveat that you submit your seating plan to
Yeah,
them.
right.
I think
And then they do a digital version
Right.
of it,
Yeah.
so they can show people what's
And
still
as
available.
seats sell, they block them
Block
out.
them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventbrite's just
Yeah.
expensive.
It just-
That's, I
Just
used
do
it
easy,
before
A,
brown
B,
paper
C,
tickets.
D, E, F, rows.
People will pay it.
I know, I just hate doing that.
But you'll have money in the bank before the show even starts, so if you start those ticket sales
Well,
way
the advantage
before,
you gotta look
And-
at
and
for
we
then
can
them-
go
you'll
to-
have an idea how
There
much
you go.
money.
And
you
we go
have.
to 205 for this
Then
though.
we
Yeah.
might need
Yeah.
205 for production.
All right.
Well,
You know.
it is,
Did we just, Anthony, do you feel like we wasted your time?
No, I'm
tonight?
good. Glad to be here.
You're auditioning for the man.
also ask one other point that we didn't finish the thought, is a final dress rehearsal. Why don't we think about this? There's plenty of time. Think about the idea of having an invitational thing where usually you invite family and good friends or people you know, like you would invite
The manager,
the
the
newspaper.
Julian or
Okay, but so there's two purposes.
Julian
You want to
Hotel.
use it as a director to get your cast prepared to open.
It gives them, yes,
And on a producer side, we wanted to create a buzz so we can actually sell tickets on the next 2 nights.
correct.
So why don't you just invite business owners?
Or
That way it doesn't tank your
invite,
tickets.
like the owners of the Julian Hotel
They're not
or
gonna
the
come.
owners of,
They're not gonna
B&Bs.
Yeah, the people of
can
exactly,
tell their
that's why we would
friends.
have the B&B operators come on a Thursday night.
Right.
is
But you're
because they couldn't
remembering
be
the
there on
heyday.
Friday and Saturday, because they're busy.
Yeah.
But if they know what the show is, they can talk about it firsthand.
But you're remembering the heyday of musical theater.
That's
and-
right!
Oh my
that's
gosh,
not
you
what
should
we're
hear
doing.
that.
Days, my friend! We thought that
What we're
never
gonna
end.
get, on a free show, we're gonna get the 5 friends and family of the cast.
I can't help
each-
myself.
And they're the ones, 3 of those would have paid anyway the next month. But if you think from a director's point of view, you need it to help get the show
I'm
together.
saying from a dramatist standpoint, it is helpful.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah, 'cause you
at
need to see how
the
they
Playhouse, they
respond.
sell, well, the Playhouse, when I say Playhouse, I mean La Jolla Playhouse.
Yeah.
For instance, they have a week of previews.
Right.
Where people who are subscribers get an invitation gratis. It's like, this is a bonus to come in and they have to book tickets.
Outback does
You
that
know,
too.
where, and, or you can get them for, super cheap. And they'll have a week of this stuff to give the performers, especially, well, imagine you have a comedy, you have no idea, comedy is subjective, you don't know what lines are going to get laughs.
Right.
And so what typically happens, you get a cast in front of an audience for the first time, next thing you know,
It needs a
the
test
actors are
audition.
walking over their own lines because the audience is laughing, but I've been rehearsing it to keep going, and so I talk right through the
We make them all
laugh.
go home and watch Barney Miller. There is no better comedy sitcom of people who knew how to pause for.
Oh, really?
Pause for applause. Go watch Barney Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Yeah.
What about if we
I don't
did-
think there's a lot of laughs in this show,
No, that's not a show.
but there are going to be people.
What were you gonna say?
There are going
Well,
to.
what if we just did that thing you're talking about on the 28th? I mean, it's already penciled in as a rehearsal night,
What's the 28th?
February of 20.
It's too soon. You need it
Yeah.
right before we open.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is usually
So-
something.
Well, rehearsals are set for the 3rd, Thursday the 3rd.
But what I would do is I would I would start selling tickets 6 to 8 weeks in advance. We're selling tickets, we're filling up the two nights.
And then announce
And
that.
then a week
Aha.
before, we're gonna tell the
Ah,
cast.
okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
let's
mean,
sell
from an
tickets.
economical
Sell
standpoint, that
tickets
sounds
first.
right.
Yeah.
Get the
You know,
dough
a
in.
good place to advertise is on Julian Connection.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
see
we're-
people, there's tons of people in
This is
San
the
Diego.
this is the woman who fills every event that we do. So
But
yeah.
they belong to the Julian
Yeah.
Connection, and they'll post, hey, I'm bringing my boyfriend up this weekend and we need to know what's
Right.
going
Right,
on.
right.
Yeah, I think social media is really our friend in this.
Definitely.
There
Yeah.
will, all the seats you want to sell will sell.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And if 4 weeks out, we're now 50% house capacity on 2 nights, we might open up that Friday night as a performance, a paid
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So if we find that it has just really strong response, then it gives us that,
Yeah.
that opportunity.
Yes, if you sell 300 tickets at that average of 15 apiece, just think that's,
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that's big money.
On
But
the
that's,
subject of
yeah.
15, do you think that's a fair price?
well,
I'm just-
I think it is, but what do you think?
Shark Tank.
Compared
I
to
think it's a
most,
fair price.
yeah.
compared
Yeah,
to, yeah,
premium
they
seats for
sell,
20.
yeah.
Fair price, yeah.
I'm just
What
a
is
mom.
your objective?
I'm a mom. I just
How about
want everybody to come
$14.95?
and, yeah, I just ignore me. I'm
Well,
fine.
I
I'm
mean,
well,
you
I'm
could
fine with
have-
being ignored.
Not only is it, I'm gonna charge 15, but I would have them eat the fees. It's gonna be 15 plus the fees.
And you know what?
If
We
they,
can-
yeah, if they use a
understand.
charge card, is it, you've got to buy the tickets in advance? Because the chances of getting them at the door are like 0.
Right.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
start out with advanced sales.
Oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
people understand in Julian, things cost a little more.
Like I
So
was telling-
$15
It's a
is
little
not
more.
out
Yeah.
of
Like
It's
I
a
was
little
telling
less than
Robin,
any
you
other
haven't
show
had
that I'm
anything
gonna
to
do.
do
Yeah,
in 2
so
years.
who's
2021.
live sitting
They
in
cost you that
30
in
so.
gas to go to town to go to a movie, so.
Would you think, so, and I'll
That's
throw in a
right.
whole new thing in here, but we've got, 13 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
What about getting a permit and selling wine?
It's not worth it because of the small. You're gonna sell 5 glasses, 10 glasses,
Well, not
and
to
so much
mention
work
liability.
to do.
Well, no, I mean, we are already insured. The chambers,
Yeah.
we have a liquor liability for the entire year. The chambers already stepped up in a board meeting. It's
Yeah.
in the minutes that we're sponsoring the event. So we go under our insurance and the permit's $50.
So I thought about this for the Valentine's Day show we did 2 years ago, and we decided not to. So I would have the same decision now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the right decision or not, but I just don't think people are gonna. Some will buy, but it's not like we're a bar.
Yeah, we brought booze in cups to the melodrama last year. I mean, we just brought our own booze.
Bring your,
So,
Which you encourage.
yeah, that's what we did.
Which sounds like a really homey thing to do.
And I remember Michelle, Tom's Michelle, she's like,
Yeah.
looked at me, she's like, bitch, you just drank all my wine. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Pass
You
that
can buy
flask
those
over
pre-filled
here.
Glasses at the gas station.
Right, I just bring him in some. Bootleggers encouraged.
Well, yeah, once the show opens, the director is a useless appendage. It really belongs to the cast and the stage manager. At the moment, I don't have a stage manager committed to this show.
And with the big cast, it's gonna be ranked.
But if anyone knows where
But the
someone
thing
with that kind of
But
experience.
I also,
Well,
before you go
But
any
you can
further,
participate
Yes.
in NBC,
I have
right?
the communication
Well,
devices.
I thought you've read
I
some
have all
really
the
great.
radios
I'd
and
rather
headsets
see
for
you
the
read
stage
because you're
manager.
great.
Let me,
all
let me
those
answer
people,
this.
so that's an
There you go.
expense you don't have to worry about. I
Excellent.
have-
Let me
Sweet.
tell you.
I'm no longer
this.
worried about
Last
something I
time
didn't-
was
wasn't
on
real
stage,
for.
I got roped into being a witch in a Halloween play with my kids. My 30-year-old now was 7 at the time. It's been a long time since I've been on stage. I've got a lot of experience with him being stage manager, lighting, technical, blah, 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 blah. I did some AD work in Mira Mesa.
Yeah, but I want you to act, I don't want you to work with.
Something about this play, when he brought it home to me and told me about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm working on this play, blah, 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 blah. And I said, ooh, I want to get involved. And his first thought was, no, I want to do this on my own. And I said, I'd really like to be on stage.
Okay.
On
he
stage,
goes,
okay.
not behind
All right,
stage.
you
Okay.
can be on
I
stage.
love that answer.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to pressure or lobby you.
The other one that you guys
again.
are talking about, I will be happy to stage manage.
Okay.